Hey everyone, welcome back to Route 99. I'm Akash. Today we are going to talk something interesting that every B school student wanted and they should be aware of it, which is getting into placement committee. Now I'm not going to give you some random gyan or some basic tips that you have heard on other channels. Today we are going to discuss deep dive and I'll tell you exactly what happens into the placement committee in that room, what panel is looking for, and what are the opportunities that are there once you get into placement committee. The topic for today is how to get into placement committee. This is for the people who are going to join the B school or who are waiting to get into the B school itself, as well as some folks which are in IIMs, XLRI, FMS, MDI. We are going to discuss about all these colleges because the logic is going to apply in all these colleges. So let's break down step by step so that you will get a better understanding about how to get into placement committee. Now, first let's talk about what and why this matters. In most of the B school, placement committee is called as PlaceCom. It is one of the most competitive committee on any B school at campus. Places like IIM Ahmedabad, almost 300 people apply for placement committee every year. Now, how many people actually get into it? 10 to 30, depending upon the B school. So think about it. 300 smart brains of the country are applying for 10 to 30 positions. Now, if you look at all the people who are getting into all the committees, only 25 to 30% of the batch is getting into this kind of committees. I'm talking about placement committee, branding promotion committee, marketing committee, consulting committee, product management committee, and Placecom is one of the hardest committee to crack out of this. And I'll tell you one thing, this video is not about how to fill the application for placement committee. That is very easy. I'm going to tell you that when you got that opportunity of getting into placement committee and when you are facing that interview for placement committee, how are you going to face it and what the placecomers are looking, I would say the seniors are looking into you. Okay, so beside anything else, you need to deeply understand what the placement committee actually does because you can't convince someone to give you a job that you don't understand. So, what does a placecom do? They run the entire placement machine of the college. That means their job is to call different companies to the campus, schedule their visits, building the CV of each and every candidate, running mock interviews, then actually sitting across the company HRs as well as CXOs, MDs of the company and pitching the ideas to them. You have to negotiate some salaries, you have to negotiate with them when it comes to shortlisting, and top of all this, they are also part of your batch, they are your batch mates. They handle confidential data about placements. I have handled this data, so I know how things work in placement committee, and they are doing all this because they wanted to show the better version of your batch, and they are all doing this as well as they are attending all the classes, they are negotiating with the people, and they are also giving the exam with you. So biggest takeaway from this slide is the panelist is not going to see how you had experience into the campus itself. Placement committee will give you that leverage onto campus resume. They are hiring a colleague, so you need to keep that thing into your mind. Now let's discuss more about it. So let's discuss about how the selection process works when it comes to placement committee. It is very different for each and every B school, but for most of the places the version is quite same. First scenario is you will be having resume. You have to show that resume, present that resume. The shortlisting will happen to you. They filter it on paper. Second, then the group discussion will happen to you or group task will be given. During my time, I was given a task which is I need to find out what kind of companies that are coming onto other campuses such as SIBM, Pune, and MMS, which are not coming into my campus. And they, in this situation, see how you work in a team, how you work individually. Post that you will be having an interview, I would say panel interview with the senior place commerce. In most of the B school, the second year students will take the interview. They check your motivation, they check whether you are a perfect fit for or it or not. Then the real work begins where you have to do a real actual stuff and you have to take the ownership. They see all these things in you, and finally, you'll be having a late night interaction with, I would kind of a stress interview, and they'll see whether if the opportunity and if the responsibility is given to you, can you do the job? Can you do the task? Two things that I wanted to tell you here, guys. First of all, talk to the seniors, ask them how to get into placement committee. Second thing is, in most of the B school you have to sign an NDA, which is non-disclosure agreement before the placement starts. So also understand about that NDA. And guys, on top of that, you have to crack the placecom interview, right? So this thing you should definitely keep into mind before getting into placement committee. Now this slide is very important because place commerce, the seniors are not checking what you are aware of it. They are not interested into GPA, right? They are answering one question in their head: can this person sit in front of a recruiter or CXO and sell our batch? आपको sales person बनना पड़ेगा. You have to sell your batch. And if the person is sitting in front of the recruiters, will the person, or will he or she has that ability to portray one of the best version of themselves? That's it. Everything else goes from there itself. So what they look in a candidate is ownership. Will you finish the work without someone following up on you? Can you pitch? Can you persuade? Can you negotiate and sell your batch? Profiles? Do you have the right communication? Do you have the capability to present? Are you a professional? Can you make a business imperative out of it? Reliability. The work is not glamorous. Let me be really honest. It is long, it is hard. It's just that it is a thankless job that you are going to do in the campus. So you have to ask one question: are you going to show up every day for other people, for your friends, for your batchmates to place them? And integrity matters a lot as a place commerce because you are going to handle confidential data. So you have to be fair, you have to be transparent, and you have to be transparent with your close friend. Now let's discuss about next thing is how are you going to do the steps. First thing is, before the process even starts, you need to do some homework. Number one, talk to your seniors. The outgoing placement committee, which is present there, which is running the process. Talk to them, sit with them, ask them how the scenario works in placement committee, right? This is what I did during my time, and ask them what kind of challenges that they are facing in placement committee. Ask them about how to speak in front of the recruiters. What are the gaps that are present there? How can you set apart, how can you portray a better version of yourself while getting that opportunity and while using that opportunity? So you have to fit that opportunity into your shoes. Second thing is understand the vertical better. Most place comms teams have sub verticals such as corporate relation, operation team, PR, finance, business development team. So you need to understand according to your background which placement committee. Data team is also there. You have to handle data, which team suits to your profile and background. Then you have to make a LinkedIn creation, you have to sell your badge. Third thing is you have to make your resume for placecom should be one of the best. आप ऐसे normal resume नहीं बना सकते हैं. You have to talk about how you negotiated, how you did any sales event, how you manage any committee, how you showed that leadership skills. That is very important. So you have to keep all these things into your mind. Suppose that now next thing that comes into picture is interview, because you are given your CV to the place commerce and they'll ask you one question: why you wanted to join placement committee? And this is going to be a trap question for you. Let's say if you say it looks great on a CV, you are already lost. You have to tell a genuine reason to them. Every single person in that room says the same thing. आपके batchmates, आपके teammates are going to tell the same thing कि I will do this or that to the campus, but they wanted to know that do you have the right capability, right? Are you the person who can sit in front of 300 people and take that responsibility, right? And what is actually going to work during your placement interviews is, I would say, place commerce interviews real connect. Tell the right skill that you have. Tell what you wanted to do with the campus. Do you have the right negotiation skills? Can you build the corporate relationship? Do you have the public speaking skills? You have to tell these specific things to the people so that people can trust on you. And more importantly, talk about what will you do into the campus by joining that committee. Be honest, be specific. Panels can tell in 10 seconds if your answer is rehearsed and generic. So you have to rehearse your answers so many times before getting that answer. जब भी आपको प्लेसमेंट कमिटी में जाते हो, आपको पूछा जाता है why you wanted to join the placement committee, talk about people management, stakeholder management, leadership skills, in which situation you have showed that leadership skills. Suppose that then in most of the placement committee scenarios, you have to get into group discussion, group tasks, and this is where most of the people get wrong. See, it is a definitely a healthy competition. Panel, the place commerce wanted to see you how you work in a team. If the job description is given to you, how you understand about the job description. So always try to add value, say sharp, say relevant things, build on what other people are saying. Quality always matters a lot than quantity, and most of the people don't understand this thing. Be sharp, be calm, composed. Tell to the group that while having the group discussion, how you are going to tell the right logical points. Right? Group discussion is more about having a discussion on one pointer. If someone has not spoken during the group discussion, give the points. It shows that you are an inclusive person, you are a thought leader, you are a person who can help the people as well as who can lead a strong team, right? Be a facilitator, be a follower, be a leader, and that is a green flag for you to get into placement committee, right? So don't dominate placecom interview, don't be aggressive or don't be silent. You have to do these things in advance. Suppose that you'll be given some task to you, right? Most of the B schools, the place commerce in that B schools check if the task is given to you, can you do the task? Let's say in some of the B school, you have to talk and connect with the HRs from so many companies. During my time, I was told to connect to HR from 15 companies. You have to build a pitch deck. You have to solve the actual problem. You have to tell to the HRs that why you should come to the campus. And this is where most of the people get wrong, right? See, guys, you have to sell. They are and place commerce. The senior folks are watching. How are you going to take that charge? Have you gone through the grind? Have you done the half part of it? Have you had the opportunity to do the or deliver the quality work without holding any hand? And this is the real task of place commerce, that you have to do the task in advance, you have to take the charge of the work, and you have to deliver the quality work. And this is what you need to do during placement scenarios of all the students, because आपको आपकी भी placement देखनी है, as well as you have to place your batchmate. Suppose that there are some stress interviews that will happen during the placement scenarios, and they are quite deliberate, yeah, because they wanted to know that during placement situation, how do you handle stress? Can you push that deal to the recruiters? Can you match the impossible deadlines? Are you anxious batchmate or not? And that things you have to do it at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the evening. So the senior place commerce wanted to know that how can you work under pressure, right? So guys, I'll tell you some things. Don't be pressure situation. Don't give a fake answer. Don't tell illogical situations. If you don't know anything, just tell them that I'm not aware of it, but I am actually in the position of learning. I always follow the concept of learn, unlearn, relearn, and I'll be a better version of myself. I'll be a better calf out of it. So this is what you need to do during the placement interviews. And again, hundreds of people are applying for placecom in the campus itself. So how can you differentiate here itself, right? And why are you the person who is sitting along with a lot of people, but you are the great leader out of it? That skill, that confidence, you should have it. So sell yourself the way placecom sells the badge to the companies. You have to be clear, confident, specific, don't ramble, and always back up with an example. Try to give a data, fact, figure example. Just tell them that, so during my past engineering days or during my past background, I closed a sponsorship deal worth rupees 4 lakh in my college fest. This is where I learned the concept of negotiation, people management, and I don't just sell emails. I take the ownership, I would say the end to end ownership of the work. So, this is how you have to be specific. You have to prove you had some things in your plate and you can definitely do the job tirelessly for the people. Now, I'll tell you some mistakes that you need to avoid during your placecom interviews and during getting into placement committee, right? First one is treating it like a trophy, right? So always tell to the panelists that don't just tell them that you are doing a favor, right? Tell them that the real value that you are going to provide to them by getting into placement committee. Second thing is don't go with generic resume. अगर तीन out of 550 batch in IIM, अगर 200 से 300 लोग रिज्यूमे दे रहे हैं, so everyone is going to fake some things, but you have to justify, you have to tell the real things, right? And you have to tell them that as a place comer, what are you going to bring to the table? So your answers has to be promising. Tell them that you'll work for these hours or these days, and you will be able to make this kind of impact. Don't just tell them that I'll work 10 hours or 12 hours every day. Don't tell them that by getting into placement committee I'll bring some different phenomena to the campus. No, these are red flags. And don't try to show over smartness, right? Just be humble, just give some generic answers. So let's discuss about the mindset that matters during the placement interviews, right? First thing is you have to sometimes work for 10 to 14 hours. The senior place comers don't want the people who is the smartest in the room. They just don't just want a person who has IIT tag or who has a better brand. They want someone who is competent, who is calm, composed, who can do the task in advance, who have that building mindset, and who can pick up the calls, who can arrange the meetings, who can talk to CXOs. That thing is very important, guys. Right? You are not going there just to ask for a favor. You are going to join the placement committee because you are going to solve their problem. So before we wrap up, I'll give you some checklist. Please take the screenshot of it. First, map out your B school exact selection process. Talk to the seniors. लोगों से बात करोगे तभी आइडिया आएगी. Second, understand placement committee में कौन कौन से vertical है. How this vertical work. What are the challenges in this vertical. Third, tailor your resume. You have to build your resume and make your resume and shift your resume according to placement committee. Fourth, you have to be honest. You have to generically and specifically give the answer why you want to join the placement committee. You can use Cloud A, ChatGPT. Fourth, you have to explain them that what is the differentiator that you are going to create. Always come up with a real life example. Practice and tell them that you are a calm, composed person. You can handle the stress. Suppose that, guys, all of these things have been backed by data. Where I am going to tell you some resources such as Inside IDA, IIM, one of the best IIM community. Then there are some IIM community pages, and there are some real sources of PlaceCom members. We have gathered this data, and this will be very handy for you, right? That's it for today. If this video has helped you out, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Do join the WhatsApp group which is present there in the description box and comment box. We will discuss each and everything, and do let me know in the comment box which video I should make in the upcoming days. All the best to you guys. Drop a comment, and if you want one-on-one mentorship regarding any B schools, you can fill the form. For to fill that form, you have to join the WhatsApp group. We are there to help you out. Good luck to you guys.